Okay, so in this version, this is a revised version of the chocolate brownies because there were a couple of women that didn't like the more health conscious, healthier version that we did during the class. So this one, we're not going to use as much almond flour, but we're going to add things like chocolate, melted chocolate. And instead of using coconut oil, we're going to use a little bit more of the tahini. So in our food processor, we have a can of the black beans. Instead of a 1/4 cup of tahini, I now have a 1/2 cup of tahini, along with the coffee and vanilla blend. Okay, so we have the bean mixture here. And what we're going to add to this is going to be still the 1/4 cup of water. And then instead of 2 eggs like we did in class, we're going to end up adding 3. And then we're going to mix this together, okay? Okay, so we have it all mixed up. It's going to look slightly liquidy, but that's okay. And then to this, we're going to add about a 1/2 bag of, you can either use semi-sweet or you can use 60% cocoa chocolate chips. They're both going to be low in sugar. If you do the semi-sweet, I believe it's like 6 grams of sugar per serving. Or is it 4 grams? I think it's 4 grams. But if you do the 60%, it's a little bit less. So look at the back of your bag when you're at the grocery store, just to see which type you're getting. But they're relatively close and very low in sugar, both of them. It's when you go to the milk chocolate that they're now adding a lot more sugar because those are very sweet. So yes, semi-sweet or 60% cocoa. Those are the 2 types that I recommend most when doing this. So we're gonna mix this up and we'll be right back again. Okay, got it mixed up, and as you can see, it does look a little darker. Now to this, we're going to add our the dry ingredients. And with the dry ingredients, we mix this up just a little bit more. So instead of a 1/3 cup of almond flour, you're going to be adding a 1/4 cup almond flour. And then also instead of a 1/4 cup of monk fruit sugar, we're adding a 1/2 cup of monk fruit sugar. Because again, there were some people in the class that actually wanted the brownies to be a lot more sweet than what they were. But the one thing that we're always trying to do is reduce the amount of sugar that you're getting in your diet. So once these mix up, we're going to put them in a greased pan and then bake them at about 375, and depending on if it's an 8x8 or a 9x9, for anywhere from 35-45 minutes. One thing to point out, which we had a technical difficulty during class, which is why we didn't show you any of the end results. The oven that we were using, it was not calibrated right, or it was not level, but it took a lot longer. It was going over an hour for us to bake the banana bread, and it shouldn't have. So that's one thing I want to just remind everybody. Make sure that your oven is calibrated right, that the temperature is the right one, and that it is level, because if it's not, it's going to throw off your entire cooking time, your cooking temperature. And we don't want that to happen, or you can end up with some really dark, possibly burned baked goods, and we don't like that. So let's finish stirring this up and we'll get to the next step. Okay, so we got the batter mixed up and I put them into some grease. These are about 7x4 inch pans. So these will work well. And what you get, again, is your brownie. This one I have it upside down to finish cooling. But this is what they end up looking like. I don't know if you can tell, but they have a little bit more of a fudgy texture to them. But they come out just as good, just as chocolate, a little bit more chocolatey if you're really needing that chocolate fix. But those little changes that we've done to the recipe will give you something that's a little more sweet. Again, we're still not using as much or any of the type of sugar that's going to spike your blood glucose. But again, a little bit of a revision to the chocolate brownie using black beans to make it a little bit more healthy for you in the diabetes program. So go ahead, try it, let us know what you think. And we will see you at class next time. Again, if you want to be a participant, make sure you contact Raylene Martinez or Troy in the Health and Human Services office. But again, thank you to the Pueblo for allowing me to come in and help share these new recipes with you. Again, try them out. Let us know what you think. And if you have any ideas or suggestions for another class or tips and tricks that you're interested in, let us know. We'll get it done for you. Have a good day.